Welcome to Challenge 11, the datasheet automator. We are a team of 8 and our names can be found at the bottom of that slide. Our aim is to create a way to improve our productivity through a simple data automation, namely datasheet completion automation using Microsoft Power Apps and Microsoft Power Automate. Namely, as a project document originator, we would like to be able to automate the element of creation of the template, pre-population of it, and then being able to have the verification by a user before it is submitted as part of the official document for the project. The solution relies on the Power App and the Power Automate, and within the Power App segment of it, we are asking the user to filter down to the equipment number, the unit's preferences, and the user email address. And at the moment, that data is queried just from the file that is stored on the OneDrive, and you will see that we had to hard embed the unit preferences and the user email address in the code, but of course, this can be a dynamic content. And in the Power Automate, we are relying on a number of tables that we query from a OneDrive. We are using equipment number as the primary key, and we are subsequently finding the appropriate template, creating a copy of it in the designated OneDrive project folder, and then sending an email confirming the completion of the same to the requester. And for that, we are relying on both Excel and Outlook for the template format and for just the connector for the email sending. The Power Up functionality is very straightforward. The user is given an opportunity to search for the data set and to retrieve again the equipment number, and there is an ability for them to verify that the data is indeed correct, or they can go back and reconfirm the equipment number. Then they can click Submit. That will trigger the Power Automate flow. Power Automate flow will then go through a number of steps. It will call the equipment number from the Power Apps and locates the relevant data for that equipment number in the pump data file. We have created a separate unit convert file that allows us to specify the equipment number centric data, all of the data that we need, but also to use the conversion of the units as per the user preferences, and we relied on the Excel manipulations to achieve that. The data from that new table is then used to pre-populate the template, and the templates get selected first. We're using the switches to identify different cases, whether it's a centrifugal template, rotary or reciprocating unit, and we are using the equipment type now as the identifier. This is then used to draw the content of the master template, get this pre-populated, and then have that saved in the designated projects folder on OneDrive. And as we said before, the email is sent to verify the completion of that task. What we have encountered is that the mapping of all of the pump details on the datasheet is going to be very complicated. The formatting of that file hasn't permitted us to go into every single file, but with a bit more time, it is very achievable. The link between the Power App and the Power Automate may be improved and be even more robust. As you can see that we had to embed some of the hard data, such as the unit preference and the email address. And the unit conversion automation can also be upgraded through the Power Automate, but in the interest of time, we had to cut it short. We can also introduce further user interface improvements in the Power App that would make things a little bit more intuitive for the user as they are selecting the correct equipment number.
So you select the pump that we want to print the datasheet for, we review the summary details, click the button, we go in here, we can see that the flow has started. We can have a look at that now, so that's completed. So if we open the folder, we can see data sheet's just been created now. We can open that up. We've received an email notification, and we can see the populated data.
Now on to the Q&A. The first question was whether the process can be automated, to what extent, and what were the pitfalls. The first and foremost, again, was the formatting of the template, where it created a challenge for us to populate every single field. So the focus was on completing the specific fields in all of the templates. In order for us to have that as a workaround, there is a possibility to avoid the drop-down selections within the templates where we were unable to automate. But again, this is something that can be fixed in the long term. And some fields had to be left in blank. We think that the Power Apps and Power Automate are a sufficiently clear application to use for this exercise. However, introducing a centralized SQL database may make things more robust and more scalable for bigger corporations. And whether there are any other types of documents that could be created, we do think that there is a way to create, again, the table with macros where we could be completing the Excel or the PDF with the already queried data or the centralized SQL database. You will find all of the details and all of the files exported and completed in the submission package. If you have any questions, please reach out to us.